following show contains adult content. It's not our intent to offend anyone, but we want to inform you that if you are a child under the age of 18 or get offended easily, this next show may not be for you. The content, opinions, and subject matter of these shows are solely the choice of your show hosts and their guests, and not those of the Entertainment Network or any affiliated stations. Any comments or inquiries should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for listening.
Sitting down and designing, where every man in my thinking, what are we gonna be wearing? Yo, I'm a Liverpool MC, you can't trust me, big up the girls inside the party. Let's get down to crazy Jimmy, big up myself and known as Alfie, the one and only, the Turkish MC.
Always love the clothes of Jimmy.
Bitch, I'm your one I wanna be, Jimmy Star, new celebrity.
We'll take you out to Jimmy Stars.
Hey ho, what's up everybody? Welcome to the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell, bringing you the good times in music, fashion, pop culture, and entertainment. We got a really fun show for you guys today. Anybody watching us on video, if you see all these little spots on my face, I had a little skin cancers taken off and they haven't healed yet. I didn't cover them up. And Ron looks fabulous today, so we want to welcome you guys to the show. Let me introduce my cool, outrageous man about town co-host, Mr. Ron Russell.
Hello, everybody.
And Astro, who's trying to get in.
Here I am again, complaining. The winds have kicked up in the Coachella Valley, Palm Springs. And when the winds kick up, the sand blows. Jimmy and I tore our bedroom apart. We moved the bed, the dresses, the nightstands, everything. And we found 2 camels and 3 Arabs in the sand that was underneath our bed. The sand you cannot stop. It's in the air all the time, but it's very small. It's like dust. It's not sand as you see it, because when the wind blows in the mountains, the sand spins around and it reduces itself to desert dust. Desert dust kills me. My eyes swell, my nose runs, my throat's raspy. Right now, our house is full of sand. You just don't see it. So I really have to get out of here and get to Florida. I need to go to Boca and sit on the ocean and have a coffee and enjoy myself, because I'm not happy here.
Anyway, it's going to be a broken record.
That's enough complaining. I love to complain every week because, you know, people that come to Palm Springs, they think it's so wonderful. It's really not.
It is. It's wonderful, I think, if you come to visit, if you're coming for the weekend or something.
If you're gay and cute with a nice ass and a good piece of meat, then you can make out here, you know, because that's all it's about. It's about how big is your meat and how cute is your ass and how young are you. If you're not in those 3 categories, stay in Brooklyn or New Jersey or wherever the hell you're from.
That's just funny. So anyway, we have a fun show for you guys today. We have 2 guests that have both been on our show, but a very long time ago. The first one is Michael Longoria, and you guys will probably not remember. I don't even know when he was on the show. I was trying to look it up, but because we have so many shows, I couldn't figure out. And then we have John Blaze from Scarecrow, but both of them have been on the show in the past. Michael's a Broadway star. He played Frankie Valli in Jersey Boys on Broadway, and he's a great singer. I listen to his music all the time. And then we have John Blaze from Scarecrow, which is like a rock heavy metal band, and they're fabulous, and their new song is doing really well. So I think it'll be a fun show having people that we've had on before. We also have a fun event we're going to on Monday. And you guys, I looked it up because it'll be fun, because a lot of the people in this movie, we're going to a movie premiere screening. I guess it's a friends and family screening of the new movie by Sean and Michelle Kanan. And it's called Body Man. And the thing that will be fun about it is many of the people that are in it have been on our show. Sean Kanan, Jonathan Sheck, David Chokachi, and other people in the film are Tom Arnold, Lachlan Monroe, and Martin Kove, and introducing Kate Monroe, which we have not met, but I guess she's the title person in the movie. So it should be a lot of fun. Also, Emilio Rivera from Sons of Anarchy is in it. So it's got a really all-star cast. We're going on Monday night to LA. We haven't been in a long time.
Didn't Michelle direct it?
I don't know. No, I think she produced it.
Produced it.
Yes.
Anyway, Sean and Michelle are very, very, very dear friends of ours, and we support everything they do.
Oh no, it is directed by Michelle.
Directed by Michelle.
She
Figured that.
directed, written, and produced by Michelle. So way to
Right.
go. Way to go, Michelle.
So
She's a
we
superstar.
support our friends, and people should do that. Support your friends. When your friends have a project and they invite you to it, go and be part of it and make them feel good, because it's so hard to get a film up today, to get the money for it, to get the actor. It's very difficult. It's not an easy thing. And in producing and directing and starring in a film is a lot of work.
Absolutely.
So you've got to support your buddies. And we support Sean and Michelle. We love them. They're great people.
Absolutely. So also then I want to thank everybody for tuning in every week. You can listen to us. We're on Libsyn, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, SoundCloud, iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Music, Google Podcasts, and YouTube. We're on about 150 other platforms, but those are the ones everybody actually knows. So I think you guys will dig it. And I want to say hi to the chat room. Hopefully people are going to be coming up and joining us. Lady Lake, thank you so much for all your help. And what else are we going to do?
Did you break your green cup? Did you break it?
No, it's over there.
Oh, okay.
I just don't have room because I don't want to knock it over.
Oh, I didn't see it.
Yes, I have it.
So sorry.
No, I don't. See here, everybody. Here's my green cup, and he's got the orange cup.
These cups are so old. About 20 years ago, people said we should manufacture them, put our names on them, and sell them. And I thought, really? I mean, how cheesy can you get?
Actually, it's kind of fun, though.
Right? What?
We're soon going to have a site soon that's selling and actual stuff anyway, you guys. I'm working on it now. It'll be JimmyStarEntertainment.com, and it'll have stuff from all the different things that we work on that you guys will be able to
Right.
buy.
And I'm selling my body.
You'll get a lot.
I know. I'm charging about 50 cents. Well, 50 cents, and you get a coupon for 10 cents off. So that's how I'm selling my body.
Also, for anybody looking for anything interesting to watch on TV, last night I only watched two episodes. Ron watched all three, but there's a whole big thing on Netflix about the history of the mob. It's pretty interesting. Several of the people that were in it and talked about have been on our show, and so it made it kind of fun. And Ron watched the third one. I had to go to bed. It got too late.
Well, I was researching it because, tentatively, I will be in a movie called The LA Mob. And the story is how the mob came from New York to LA. So I wanted to get some inside stuff on it. This way I could help with the writing or the authenticity of the show. The TV, what is it, a TV show?
TV series.
TV series. We should be shooting it. They're putting it, we shot some of it, but I don't know what's going on. Anyway, they do film today crazy. Years ago, you made a movie, you went into work and you did a film. Now you're in, you're out, you're gone, you're in, you're out, you're gone. You never know where the hell you are, what you're doing. So it's crazy.
Yes, it absolutely is. But it was cool, and it had like Albert Anastasia. It had all the murders and all the stuff that everybody did, which was cool. And we had, and Rita Gigante was on the show, and she's like the daughter of one of the mob bosses who was murdered. And she told us all about it when she was on the show. It was really cool. And I think she's like a psychic medium or something too.
Well, I grew up with affiliates of supposedly mafia. My cousin, Bertha, her husband was in jail for 2 years for a dirt scam that he did with the governor. Of course, the governor got away with it, but my cousin got nailed. And, so I know a lot about the mob. I don't know. I don't know what to say about it. They only killed each other. So I don't know what everybody's so upset about. We should be upset about these people, these immigrants that came here illegally, and they're killing us. That's what we should be upset about. The hell with the mafia. Let them knock each other off. Who gives a shit? It's not our problem. But
it makes for a good story.
Well, what it is it shows you how the government was taken over by the mob. I mean, Kennedy was paid and bought. All of them were working for the mob because the mob back then was powerful as all hell. Of course, today they said the mob is wounded but not dead. And I don't know what they're talking about. I don't know anybody in the mob. I don't know I don't know any of it. So I just watched it. I knew some of the people. I was in Gotti's company once for a minute. Big deal. I mean, a lot of celebrities and big shots company. So that doesn't make you a mafioso, does it?
No. Okay.
Anyway, I enjoyed it. It was very good. It was very accurate. And I suggest everybody watch it if you have that mafia fever, which everybody seems to have. The minute you make a movie about the mafia, everybody wants to fund it. Everybody wants to be in it. They get all excited. But if you make a movie about a nice husband and wife and their kids, nobody gives a shit. They don't want to watch it. They don't give you any money. It's too nice. So people like the blood, the gore, the shooting, the killing,
That's actually true.
the adventure, and the mystique and magic of the mafia. You know, they're magic people. It's all bullshit. They're just like everybody else. They're just ordinary people who are in business. And the business happens to be not like traditional businesses, but a business. You know, Wall Street is filled with the mafia, the stock market, everything, the brokers. They're all in the second and third generation of the big shots. So you'll never get rid of the Italians or the people who follow the Italians in the land of crime, because the crime that we had here in America was legitimate crime from our ex-president and all the other people. Criminals, you see that they're exposing them now. They're worse than the mafia. So it's legalized criminals.
Anyway,
it was interesting. I enjoyed it. That's enough.
so you guys, we're gonna play a
But
quick
wait, I can plug what I'm doing. It's called LA Mob
story.
I like it very much because I open it with the narration. I do the all the narration, and I'm in it. I play a mob boss. So it's going to be a fun shoot, and I'm sure it's going to be picked up, and it will be a TV series, and that means that I will be working.
Yay!
Yay. But if I'm living in Florida, I'm going to have to fly into LA to work and then fly back to Florida, and I don't like flying. So you don't get everything in life when you're supposed to.
In the meantime, you guys, we're going to bring on our first guest, but before we do it, I'm going to play a song real quick. This is a really old song of his that he did.
Are they going to kick us off?
I don't think so. They're going to do a new, they don't kick us off anyway. They just get rid of the song eventually. But you guys, he's a great singer. He's done all kinds of Broadway stuff. He's released a bunch of albums. We're going to play Can't Take My Eyes Off of You, and then we're going to bring him on because he's got a new album that came out. We're going to play some music for that when we have him on, but I want everybody to see him. He's super cute. He's super talented. So here's Can't Take My Eyes Off of You by our next guest, Michael Longoria. So check it out, and we'll be right back with him.
You're just too good to be true. Can't take my eyes off of you. You'd be like heaven to touch. I wanna hold you so much. At long last, love has arrived, and I thank God I'm alive. You're just too good to be true. Can't take my eyes off you. Pardon the way that I stare. There's nothing else to compare. The sight of you leaves me weak. There are no words left to speak. But if you feel like I feel, please let me know that it's real. You're just too good to be true. Can't take my eyes off you. just too good to be true. Can't take my eyes off of you. You'd be like heaven to touch. I wanna hold you so much. At long last, love has arrived, and I thank God I'm alive. You're just too good to be true. Can't take my eyes off you. I love you, baby, and if it's quite alright, I'm you, baby. To on the lonely night, I love you, baby. Trust in me when I say, oh, pretty baby, don't bring me down, I pray, oh, pretty baby. Now that I found you, stay, I let me love you, baby. Let me love you. Let me love you.
Yay! All right, let's bring him on. Juan.
I love
Hey, how's it
Hey!
going?
Good. How are you?
Oh my God, I totally I forgot that video existed, and I was so like pleasantly surprised that you played it. Thank you so much.
So I want to play some older stuff, and then we'll play the new stuff.
I love
Um,
that. Oh my God, so many memories.
I don't know if you remember, because you were on our show, but it was a long time ago. I'm thinking 10 or 12 or 13 years ago or something.
Wow. Yeah, time
was a
flies.
Very, very long time ago.
And you're still cute.
Thank you. So are you.
Thank you. You look younger than before.
Listen, the way the lighting is hitting me right now, I'm just trying to capture it before the sun goes down. So
Did you hear that?
No.
He said the way the lightning's hitting him right now, he's just trying to capture it all before the sun goes down.
listen.
Ron's
'Cause
like that
that's
too. He loves
Yeah.
that. You do still. Hang on, let me do a proper introduction. All right, everybody, now we want to welcome to the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell, incredibly talented singer Michael Longoria, who's also a Broadway superstar. Hello and welcome back to the show.
I'm so happy to be back. It's good to see you.
And this is my cool,
Good to
outrageous
see
man
you.
about town, Ron Russell.
Yay.
Hey,
Good to
Ron.
see you. Good to see you. First question I want to ask, and I ask
Yeah.
everybody, because I've done stage, and the second or third performance, I'm done. I'm bored. How do you feel about that?
Well, you know, it depends on the role, but when I was doing Jersey Boys.
Hang on. Start over because our dog's barking because somebody's barking outside. Okay.
Oh, that's okay. Okay, so when I was doing Jersey Boys, it was kind of like a ride. Like as soon as you start the show, you don't really leave stage except to change your clothes. And when you're changing your clothes, you're like going right back off, which added to like the anxiety of what the real band would have been feeling, right? If the real band was backstage, getting ready to go out there and sing Sherry for the first time, there's probably some nerves as you're putting on your tie, as the dressers are getting you on, getting ready for the Ed Sullivan show or any of these scenes that we were portraying. So for me, like I kind of like to let my mind go into that crazy space of like, oh, I am this person and we're there. And the year is 1963 and I'm about to sing Walk Like a Man for the first time, ever. And like, so like I would literally be not even like Frankie. It was like me, like my spirit was experiencing this life in this 2-hour span every night. So like for me, I would just let myself drop in and experience it more than be like, okay, what's my line or what's my song? What's the next? It would be like, all right, I'm in the scene now with this girl and I'm being interviewed and like, really in the moment kind of as if it were actually happening. So I think that's how I keep it fresh.
Yeah, well, I know that when I did show after show after show, I was in a coma and I didn't even know what I was saying, but I was saying everything I'm supposed to. It's like you're so used to it that you
muscle
you go to
memory.
another place.
Muscle memory, yeah.
But sometimes you go to that place and then you think, oh gosh, then you think, wait, where am I? What is my next slide? Have you ever had that moment where you panic?
I do miss live audience.
Yeah.
I don't like making movies. I think they're boring, boring shit. Waiting for this, waiting for that.
Right. I'll have a waiting go.
Nothing like theater, nothing like stage.
So let's go back to
I'm a
this,
New
though.
York snob. Are you a New York snob?
I think I'm more like I grew up more in the Rent era of New York, and so like I'm kind of like grungy. I went to school in the East Village and NYU, so my experience with New York has always been like gritty and like artistic. So I think it, but as a singer, I've been like exposed to all that other culture, so I do know what you're talking about as far as knowing what is like the good stuff to see, or the good theater, and the great places to go. Like I get that, but I've always been more of a scrappy like artist from the Lower East Side kind of vibe. I think just because I went to NYU, like I've always been um, a New Yorker, and that like Hell's Kitchen's my vibe, and the Village.
But you're actually from California, right?
Yeah, I mean, and that's the irony, right? So like I'm a California boy.
I think that's
Um,
hilarious.
It's very difficult for California people to be New Yorkers, but it's
Yeah.
easy for a New Yorker to be a Californian. So
Yeah, yeah,
it
but I had the opposite situation. I was just completely California kid. Somebody mentioned at the high school for the arts that I was going to. Oh, it was a girl that was an upperclassman, and I had like a big talent crush on her. Her name was Gina Gonzalez, and she was like, she was doing the Anita dance in West Side Story. She was that kind of like fabulous Cheetah Rivera kind of dancer. And one day we were talking. She was graduating that year, and I said, "Hey, what are you doing after graduation?" And she's like, "Oh, well, I'm going to New York." I was like, "Well, what's in New York?" "Well, I'm going to go on Broadway." And I was like, "Okay, I'd never heard of what Broadway was, and even New York. Like, I guess like maybe I saw it in the movies, but I never really realized. Oh wait, New York's an actual place that you can go to, and to hear this girl that I thought was absolutely fantastic, and she was doing what I wanted to do. I wanted to be in musical theater as well, and she was so good at it, and she's going to be in New York. So it just was like a light bulb went off, and I was like, oh, well, maybe there's a world outside of what I know. This little California existence where I was getting an escape to go to this arts high school. My existence was really more in the mariachi music, Latino vibe of East LA. And I would go 45 minutes to this school on a bus and be exposed to every culture, all these kids that were my age, that were also singers, that were also dancers. And just kind of like, it was a window into the possibilities of what my life could be if I
Did you
if I pursued art.
did you get into NYU right away? Because it's a hard school to get into.
Yeah, well, okay. So one of the girls that was in a musical with me at that high school, she was not Gina. This is another girl. She was playing Morales in a chorus line, and she said, "Hey, I'm doing this application for a summer program that's at NYU in New York City." I was like, "New York, Bing," because I heard it from the other girl. Right. So I was like, okay. And she's like, you have to apply, and it's all over the nation. They pick some kids, like 16 of us, and then you go to New York for 4 weeks and experience what it would be like to be studying musical theater at NYU, kind of thing. So that's a long shot, right? But
yeah,
but
but it's a
and it
great
wasn't even yeah, and it wasn't even an audition like a tape or a vocal thing. It was, so you wrote an essay. So I wrote this essay, and whatever I said, I don't even remember. I wish I had a copy of it, but whatever I said must have been compelling enough for them to pick me. And I was one of 16 kids throughout the nation that got to go to this program, and I got to be in New York at the age of 16. Like, and be taught by all these people that were really doing it and really trying and huffing it. I saw my first Broadway show when I was that age, and I'm telling you, it was magical. When it was like the first time there was automation in a show that I saw. Like, I would see theater at the high school, but it was never like on Broadway caliber. So
What was your
that
first
trip,
show? What was the
Yeah.
first show that you went to see?
Candide,
What was it?
Indeed. I don't even know what that is.
Candide,
Oh,
Candide.
Candide.
Yeah.
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah. Neither did I. It's that operetta.
Okay.
Yeah,
You
and that
know,
week I also saw Rent. So like it was
Okay,
an
Rent I
amazing.
love. Rent
Yeah,
I
Rent was
love.
fabulous.
So we were already talking about Jersey Boys. We'll come back to that in a minute because I have
Yes.
some other things about that. So So you went to NYU. They obviously you liked it, and then so did that automatically enable you to get in to go to school there?
It didn't enable me, but it got me. I think it gave me the heads up as far as I knew what the requirements were. One of the teachers actually mentored me after seeing me at the program. He was a vocal performance teacher. His name was Ralph Afamato, and he was teaching at real NYU as well as the summer program. And like we got to talking after a class one day, and he was asking me like, what's your situation? And at the time, my family wasn't very supportive of my Broadway dream. They didn't. My dad did not think I should be singing, musical theater. He was very machismo, and he was a soldier in the Vietnam era. So like there was a certain mentality that he grew up with that he couldn't really understand like why are you singing, what is this Broadway thing, what's the why are you
My
going
parents wouldn't have been okay with it either.
My mother,
yeah.
when I said to my mother when I was 16, I intend to be an actor, my mother said to me, "Yeah, Ronnie, Hollywood's waiting for you. Grow up. Go into construction. You retire with a good pension."
Yeah.
So I
When
looked
I
at her like she was crazy. And I ran out the door and I went to my boyfriend who was on television. He was a soap opera actor. And I was so happy to be with him in this little cocoon of theater people in the village. That was my people. I knew
yeah.
right away that I wasn't meant to be in the other world. How about you?
Well, I mean that teacher kind of opened my eyes that it was possible. Like, when I told him that my dad wasn't really supportive and like there was no way that I was going to get back to New York in any, there's no way. Like there was no money in the family for that. And even if there was, my dad was just not going to do that. When I told my dad I finally did get into NYU, through the help of the mentorship of this teacher. This teacher saw something in me, and he was like calling me back when calling New York was very expensive. Like, it
Yes,
was
I
long,
remember
long
that.
distance, right? So he would call me and we'd be talking for like half an hour to an hour. He'd be telling me, this is the requirements for SATs. You need to write this essay for NYU. You have to have these grades. He was basically, bothering me and telling me what I
What to
needed to
do?
do. Yeah. Because he had no power. He was a teacher, right? But he did write a letter of recommendation. And a lot of the teachers at that program did write letters of recommendation. And because of their eyes and their hearts, I literally was able to get in. And I told my dad that I got into NYU, and he was like, "You're not going to NYU. You're going to get a job." And I was like, crickets, crickets." It was one of those like awkward father son truck drives, and I'm trying to tell him, I need you to help me go, but he was basically telling me that I was on my own.
So how did
Um,
you pay for it? You get scholarships, or
yeah, I
or
got
you had a lot of debt when you
scholarships.
got out?
Both. Well, okay, so both. I had scholarships, but that first year I didn't have enough, right? So, um, that music teacher was talking about my situation to his son and his son's friend. His son's friend's mother happened to be a writer who freelanced with the New York Times, and that woman decided to get involved. Again, this is back before cell phones.
Right.
She
Yes.
literally got my phone number from Ralph, and Barbara calls me, and I get this phone, out of nowhere. I'm in California. It's the '90s, and she says, "You don't know me, but I'm a writer from the New York Times, and I'm going to help you get through this situation. There's no reason that you should be accepted to this big school, and they're not going to find a way for you to come." Because at that time they're like, "Great, you're accepted, and here's your scholarship, and the rest is on you," right? So it was
Yes.
like a lot of money. So somehow she knew somebody who knew the dean of Tisch. So she was able to like write a letter to her and appeal and say, "I'm sure if you knew about this kid, you would get involved." So she kind of like highlighted my story. And then with her help and with all the teachers at Cap 21 like advocating for me, they were able to meet my need up until, I mean, I had to take like the maximum loans
Right.
for, and my dad couldn't get involved and didn't get involved. So like
Did your
yeah,
did
that's how I
your
did it.
parents
I love it. First of all, that
did
somebody
your
did that.
did your parents go to opening night of you on Broadway? And
Well,
what was
yes.
their reaction?
Well, that's the thing. Like, eventually they came around and they saw me when I opened in Hairspray on Broadway. They got to see that, and they were pretty like amazed, but they were still like kind of like, what is Broadway, but when my dad saw me in Jersey Boys, like that was a moment, because I don't know if you're familiar with the show, but in the second
Yes.
act we all come back on and we pose and we're in the spotlight, right? Boom, on each four season, boom. And then Frankie Valley, like, is the last one. And then there's a moment, and the audience, we're back to the show, right? They applaud. Well, the applause, is raucous that night. They applaud, they applaud. And as it's dying down, I hear, Michael, Michael. And I'm just like, oh my God. I'm like mortified, but at the same time, like, I'm like, so happy that my dad finally he got it. In that moment he got it. It was no longer like, is this a weird sexuality thing? Like, is this going to make my son gay? Or any of that shit. It was more like, he actually, all of that bullshit went away, and he saw me achieve a dream, and
Wait
we
a
got to
second.
share
He
it.
thought he thought that being on Broadway would make you gay.
He thought, I think, well, I was already gay, but I think he, but I
That's
think,
what I was going to say.
but no,
Hello.
but I think he thought if I put my tap shoes on, I'd want heels.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Or
Yeah.
like, he just thought it was more because he was a machismo guy. So like I think it was based on fear, right? He didn't know the culture. He didn't know what Broadway was. He didn't know that it's storytelling and it's acting, and it's this beautiful heightened level of music, is what Broadway is. He didn't know what it was. He just saw that I was going to dance class, and he just saw that I was
Yeah,
singing.
I
You
didn't
know what I
know.
mean? So
It's kind
like
of like,
he didn't
My, my,
understand.
my father said to me, I'd rather see you dead in a grave than gay. And
Yeah.
I said, oh, thanks. That's nice.
My dad said the exact same thing to me when I was a teenager, literally almost word for word. He
Well,
found
I'm
out.
Italian, and the
Yeah,
Italian and the Hispanic is a similar
yeah, same.
upbringing,
And
the
I
same.
think it was their like inability to verbalize their fear for what we were about to experience in a life being gay, like that they don't know about, but all they know is that everybody's hateful towards it, right? So I think my dad, even though it was the worst thing you could say to a son, and it really did end our relationship in a way, when he said, I'd rather you, because he told me the same thing, I'd rather you be dead and me in jail. That's what he added. I'd rather you be dead and me in jail than you be gay. and,
Good
and
that we can laugh at it now.
yeah, well, we can laugh at it now because it's ignorance in its purest form, but it was real. Like, he
at
meant
the
it,
time.
and he was about to try, so that, even though like it was terrorizing as a kid. This was me at like age 16 when when this happened, this altercation happened, when he found out that I had a boyfriend, and I was like, that he found out that the boy that he'd been driving me to visit all the time was actually my boyfriend. So like, he's like, you know what I mean? So he was like,
Yes.
I'm never taking you there, and quote, but after all that, NYU, I did that on my own. And in the middle of NYU, I reached out to my dad and I forgave him in a sense, because I wanted to know who he was. Like, I was living so much of my life, and I'm kind of like I'm doing now, but so alone in New York City as a teenager, and trying to figure out my financial, like, how am I going to pay for this and all this. And I had mentors, right? But they weren't paying my bills. They were just telling me what to do and
What you needed to do. Yeah.
yeah. So like all the weight of the world, was there, and I really felt like I was missing a dad. He was not there. So I gave him an opportunity. I wrote him a letter, old school, on a piece of paper, and I mailed it to him, and it basically was saying, like, eh, I'm giving you a second chance, like, we'll let that all that go, and you're gonna get to know me now as a real person if you want, and this is your chance, take it. So, I didn't hear back. I didn't hear
Yep.
back, but and then I did one of those long distance calls, to LA, and I said, "Hey, did you get my letter?" And he said, "Yeah, I got your letter." I was like, "Well, what do you think?" He's like, "Yes, yes." That's all he
That's
said. He was
nice.
yes. So then,
Okay.
like, eventually that turned into him calling me every morning at like 9 a.m. And when I was in Hairspray, and I would be like, "Why are you calling me so early?" I'd be like, mean to him because like I wasn't used to somebody, and 9 a.m. to me was what, like 7 a.m. over
Yeah.
there. So like he was up early, with his coffee, calling me. And this wasn't, I didn't have that for so many years. So all of a sudden I had that, and I had a buddy all of a sudden again, and I was getting to know him. Even though I'd lost a dad, I didn't have a dad anymore. I was getting to know the human and the person, and exposing him to everything in my New York City gay life with no shame, and almost not rubbing it in his face, but like wanting him to know everything so that he can open his mind and so that he can not be so judgmental. By the end of his life, he was going around to strangers. We'd be in public. He'd be like, "Hey, I'm gay too." He wasn't gay. He wasn't gay, but he would be like saying that to
Yes.
people on the street in a way to like kind of say that he accepted me. So like
That's
he did come
beautiful.
around from the horrible person he was, in the 90s. But it took him a while, and I think the music and Broadway and Jersey Boys really helped facilitate that.
That's such a big thing. It's
Yeah.
kind of like there's a movie that I like a lot, and it's kind of similar a little bit, except for that the guy wasn't gay. But did you ever see Billy Elliot? You probably saw the
Oh
Broadway
yeah,
play. So in Billy Elliot,
yeah,
he wants to
similar.
be a dancer, and they don't want him to be a dancer. But then when he sees him in Swan Lake at the end, it's got a little tear
Yeah.
in his eye.
Yeah, when I saw that for the first time, I was like, "Oh, yeah." You could totally relate. Anybody who grew up with a father that had a hard time seeing his son could relate to that in that story.
So you started on Hairspray. Was your first?
I just want to say, in conclusion of my little adventure with my father, I never forgave him. Never. And he died, and I never forgave him, and I still don't forgive him. And
Yeah.
I never will forgive him, because anybody that could say that to their child, to me, is an ignorant asshole jerk and doesn't deserve to be in my world. How do you
I
tell
agree.
your child, "I wish you were dead"? I mean, what are you, nuts?
Yeah.
I have 2 daughters. I adore, worship, and love them. God forbid anything ever happened to them. So you see,
Yeah.
you question the love. How strong is the love? Is
Oh
the
yeah.
homosexuality stronger than the love? And that's what bothered me all my life, that my
Yeah.
father put my gayness before his love for me.
Oh wait, but how was your mother with it all? I bet she was
Oh, she
okay.
was great.
Mothers are okay.
Mothers are good.
Mothers always know.
Yeah, it's true. It's
Mine
true.
do too.
When my mother saw that her heels were missing from her closet, she knew what was going on.
My mother
When my-
never mentioned my being gay. It
Yeah.
was didn't exist in her world. Yet she knew my gay friends. She hung
Yeah.
out with us. We used to go to the movies. All the
Yeah.
dykes and the fairies, we all used to go. My mother loved the gay people.
Yeah.
So your first Broadway show was Hairspray.
Speaking of gay, yes, very gay. Hairspray. It was amazing. Like the John Waters and the creative team and Harvey Firestein. It was actually an
Did
amazing
John
start.
Waters hit on you?
No, never.
Ever?
I mean, I never really talked to him too much because I was in the ensemble, so it was my.
I know John Waters from years.
Oh, you do?
ago. He used to come to the gay bar, the Fawn, in New York with Divine, and they would dance.
Yeah.
I was a very good dancer. I was doing the mambo, the cha-cha, something like that. And Waters said to me, "Could you show me how to do that?" So I was teaching him how to do that. 30 or 40 years passed by, and I'm at a cocktail party, and John Waters is there, and I'm interviewing him. And he said, "I remember you."
Ah,
He said, "Dark, you were dark, black hair, dark, very dark skin." I said, "Yeah, when I was young, I was dark. Now I'm like an Irishman." Anyway, he is still alive. I like John a lot, but he is notorious. I mean, he'll hit on you and not care.
yeah. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I would just never around him long enough. But
I
no, they
think
were
he was
always
afraid.
so
He
cool.
probably was afraid to hit on you. He wasn't certain. There was a
Maybe.
reason, but no, you're certainly cute, and I know that. Listen, you and I could have been brothers. If I showed a picture of me at 16 and 17, I could look like you. dark
Yeah.
skin, dark eyebrows, dark hair, and I was hit on all the time. So I'm sure you're hit on all the time.
Not as much as I would like, but maybe if
No,
I
come on.
go to the places that you were going to, then
Yeah.
No,
maybe,
no,
yeah.
you know
Maybe if
what
I
it
teach
is.
somebody to tango.
You know what it is, Michael.
Tell me.
Good-looking people are hit on so often that we don't know it anymore. We're not aware of it.
Oh yeah,
Because
well,
it's
I'm
so common.
oblivious if
You know,
it is. Yeah.
unattractive people, if you pay them a compliment, they'll hang on it forever. But good looking, I mean, how many times have you been told you're good looking? I'm still told
Oh.
at 86 years old, they tell me I'm handsome. I don't believe it. I look in the mirror, I say, what the fuck are you out of your mind? Handsome, I don't think.
Yeah.
I used to be.
So hang on,
Yeah.
I want to move this a little bit.
Hairspray. Okay, Hairspray was
All right.
fabulous. Yeah.
So I want to make sure we get a bunch of different things, and let's just go back to Jersey Boys. So you started out
Yes.
playing Joey, then how did it work out that you got to play Frankie Valli? Because that was a way upgrade.
Yeah, well, it was yeah, exactly. It was always a part of my contract that I was going to play Joey and be the first Frankie Valli cover. So I was always learning both parts at the same time, as we were doing the rehearsal process. So, and it was also like, we were always told be on guard. And because I was in Hairspray across the street as a swing, like I always knew you had to be prepared for anything, like at any moment somebody could get sick, late, anything. So I just knew that I would go on sooner than anticipated, so much so that I would be like asking the musical director, hey, when are we gonna go over this music? Oh, don't worry, we'll have time. Sure enough, the first time I went on, it's I had like rehearsed myself. But it was like one of those pressure moments where it was like we didn't really have full rehearsal, but we had some rehearsal. So you know what I mean? Like you just had to be ready to
They
do
just
both.
threw you out there to the fucking sharks.
Yeah, and hoping for the best. And you know what? Like I think I've always been used to that kind of element. Like the first time I sang for a live audience, I was 6. So like a bunch of strangers clapping for you as a little boy, you're like, okay, I kind of like grown used to that as like a form of communication. Like that's their way to appreciate what you just did, the effort that you just did, whatever the 3-minute effort, to really tell a story in song. So it was kind of a natural thing to kind of like live in that Jersey Boys world, and even though it was scary, it was kind of like alive. I was portraying a singer, so and I grew up as a singer, so it was kind of returning to a natural thing.
Did you see the movie Jersey Boys?
I did. I love all those movies, Jersey Boys and Hairspray, the Hairspray movie, and the live ones. Like I love seeing them and then seeing like the little pieces of us that they've kept, or the little pieces of us that
saw them-
like were influenced. Go
We
ahead.
saw the movie, and there's a point where they're like in a garage or something with all the stolen goods in the movie, and Ron was
Yes.
like, "I miss that life."
Well, you were talking
That
about
was
the
good
mafia
times.
The funny
Yeah.
part is we saw Frankie Valli in Pennsylvania performing, and he sang and hit that note, that very, very high note. And I
Yeah.
said to Jimmy, there's a ghost there. He can't hit that note. After the show was over, we went backstage to meet him. He was not very nice. He was not cooperative in an interview. He was very, very who the hell he thought he was. So we ignored him. And we spoke with the backup guys. And
They're the ones who invited us to the show.
And they
Oh, nice.
They admitted it. They said, no, Frankie doesn't hit that note. He said, I
Oh,
ghost him. How did you
Well-
find hitting that note? That very high note.
yeah. For me, it's just has become like a part of my like way to communicate. I always found like singing a falsetto. I mean, I would always sing along to the girls, like girl belters, and that's why I was always had a higher voice. But with the falsetto, it's like it could really communicate like emotion. Like you could sing a line of falsetto, and it kind of sounds like you're crying. And especially in the music of the 1960s, you can really utilize all the colors of your voice, including that high note. Or any of those high notes, because there's a bunch that are in that range. And the thing about like this album, the Catch a Wave album that we're talking about, I didn't realize that Brian Wilson sang like Frankie Valli, like the first time I heard The Warmth of the Sun, it has that crazy high falsetto, and I almost thought it was Frankie Valli, and I was like, is this a song that I didn't know? Like, what? Because it came on my playlist, and then I realized it was Brian Wilson singing, this high stuff, and I was like, wait a minute, let me investigate then. So that's how I kind of like went into the kind of tunnel of what Brian Wilson and Mike Love and all those guys that wrote those songs for the Beach Boys kind of created and gave to all of us. Like,
I'm going to go to that in 1 second. Let me just tell everybody, you guys, Michael has 5 albums out. He did one in 2005, Under 1,000 Shades of Blue, 2016, Broadway, Brick by Brick. Great album. I actually have that one.
Thank you.
2018, Merry Christmas, Darling. I don't do Christmas music, so I didn't listen to that one.
It's all 60s
Oh,
Christmas. You might
okay.
like it.
2019, like they do in the movies. I listened to it all morning, knowing you were coming on Spotify. You guys, it is fantastic. He really picked some hard-ass songs to sing. And now he
Yeah.
has a brand new record that just came out called Catch a Wave. And I guess this is
Wait, slowly. What was it?
Catch a Wave.
Catch a Wave?
Catch a Wave, and it's a tribute to the Beach Boys, right?
The
Yes.
Beach Boys. I remember.
The Beach Boys. Yeah, well, I found that
Surfing.
exactly, but that was the thing. Like my identity or their identity to me was always that like surf and sun and like easy life and hanging out in a Woody, one of those big those big cars.
Yes.
But and when I first heard it, where my mind went, I was like, what does that mean? But then I realized I did some research and I found out
Yes.
exactly what they're talking about. But then I realized as I was listening to their songs, like In My Room and The Warmth of the Sun and Let Him Run Wild, that wow, they had some sensitive songs and some real emotional songs that meant a lot to everybody. And there was so many deeper meanings beyond what we know. Like The Warmth of the Sun, I don't know if you know this, but that song was inspired when JFK was assassinated. So, Brian Wilson needed a way to artistically process that, the national grief that he was feeling. I remember when 9/11 happened, we really felt this thickness in the air and this horrible, like, just sadness. So as an artist, you get down and you start writing or you start playing or you start singing. And Brian wrote the music for Warmth of the Sun. And then later, Mike Love wrote the lyrics to make it into a song about loss of love. But to know that like something so tragic could inspire something so beautiful and then can inspire me 50 years later, right? 50 years later, now I'm like discovering this song for the first time. And now I'm so moved that I have to record my own version of it and give it out of my vessel. And I
When did
picked
it come
12
out?
songs.
When did
It just
Catch a
came
Wave
out.
come out? Okay.
Yeah, it just came out April 10th, so it's brand new. You could download it on iTunes or anywhere you stream music.
I have to tell you, like, I'm a huge Wilson Phillips fan, which is
Oh my God, me too. I love those girls.
I love them so much. I contact them all the time. I want to get them on the
Yeah.
show, and they were my favorite. But so I have 2 different songs we could play. I pulled it off of YouTube. We could play California Girls or Good Vibrations. Which one?
I
Let's do-
like Good Vibration.
Let's do Good Vibrations.
All right. So Juan, we're gonna play Good Vibrations. So you introduce it, and then Juan will play it, and then we'll come back.
But you know something? We had portable radios back in those days that we carried on our shoulder. And in
Yeah.
Brooklyn, if you played the Beach Boys, you got a beating.
Well, listen,
They
let's
beat you up because you were like a faggot.
well, listen, in that case, let's sing this song, these songs even more prouder, right?
That's right.
Like-
Absolutely. All right. You
Let's do
introduce
it.
it for us.
All right, so this song is called Good Vibrations. It's the first time that they wrote a song that was a copy and paste situation in the studio, where it wasn't recorded all in one shot. It was recorded in several different sessions. You'll hear within this song how that also it's kind of a journey. It takes you on different colors of an emotional ride of a guy, finding love and feeling love for the first time. Here's Good Vibrations.
I love the colorful clothes she wears and the way the sunlight plays upon her hair. I hear the sound of a gentle word on the wind that lifts her perfume through the air. I'm picking up good vibrations. She's giving me the excitations. I'm picking up good vibrations. She's giving me the excitations. eyes, she's somehow closer now. Softly smile, I know she must be kind. When I look in her eyes, she goes with me to a blossom world. I'm picking up good vibrations. She's giving me the excitations. I'm picking up good vibrations. She's giving me the excitations. I'm picking up good vibrations. She's giving me the excitations. I'm picking up good vibrations. She's giving me the excitations. Gotta keep those loving good vibrations are happening with her. Gotta keep those loving good vibrations are happening with her. Gotta keep those loving good vibrations are happening with her.
Yay! Oh, we don't see our pictures.
Yeah,
Yay!
That's a great cover. You did a great cover on that.
Thank you so
It
much.
really is interesting listening to it.
Are you all the voices then?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all me. Well, that's the other thing that's interesting about this album is that it's all from the perspective of one man, right? The Beach Boys have so many beautiful vocalists in their
Right.
group that they change. You know, you hear God Only Knows, it's a different voice from Good Vibrations, from Fun Fun Fun. So for this album, Catch a Wave, really, it's almost like a theatrical piece in that from start to finish, you're going on an emotional journey of one guy, you know, one person, one, you know, going through heartbreak, good vibrations, the warmth of the sun, these amazing songs that we all kind of know, but because it's coming from the perspective of one person, I think you're going to hear these lyrics a little more clearer, and it's going to change your identity with the story. Because like when I started to sing it, I was like, oh wow, that's what this is about. Some of these songs, you know, like I didn't realize how deep they were, and just how like a 3-minute play each song is.
Actually, even in the chat room, somebody wrote that they're not sure that they've ever heard a cover with all the different harmonies, one person doing
Right.
all the different harmonies like that.
Yeah,
And
that's the whole album.
Back in the day, everything was vibrations. We were so
Mhm.
into that word, and you know, like, hey man, you know, you don't give me good vibration. That was
Right, yeah.
the saying. So
Yeah.
the song is so apropos for today.
Yeah, and you know
We
what's
don't
funny
get a
is that
lot
it
of
was,
good vibrations today.
no, what, and it was all inspired by a dog barking. I don't know if you know this story, but when he was a little boy, he was walking with his mother, and this dog was barking really, rah, 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 you know, really wild. And he asked his mom, "Why is that dog barking?" And his mother said, "Well, you know, they could pick up on bad vibrations."
Yeah,
And
that's it.
so then Brian said, "Well, what about good vibrations?" And she said, "Well, they could pick up on those too." So that little experience kind of stayed with him for so long. And when he was in the recording studio, he told Mike Love the story, that story, and he said, "I want to call it Good Vibrations, and all I have is bum 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 bum." And then Mike Love was like, "Well, what about I'm picking up good vibrations?" And then that was the beginning of that song.
I
So
love it.
it all became, it was all from this like little story. So I love
You did a
that.
lot of research. You
Yeah,
did a
but
lot of Beach Boys research.
Well, that this
you
whole
did a
thing,
very
like
good
it
job.
started. Thank you. It started musically, but then it turned into really getting to know them and celebrating them, like who they are and who they their journey who their journey affected. Like their music has touched so many of us. But for me specifically, like I haven't had an album since before the pandemic. My father died young. He died at 66, the year right, like the months right before the pandemic. I was getting a divorce. Like my singing group was deciding to call it quits, and then the pandemic happened. So then it was like artistically, I kind of was in a numb place for several years until recently, like a year or two ago, finding these Beach Boys songs and rediscovering them again. I mean, of course, I knew Fun, Fun, Fun. Of course, I knew these songs, but now, after all that tragedy and all that trauma, these songs did something else to me. They picked me up in a way that I couldn't believe. These were songs that I never thought of really,
And you
and now I
actually know
can.
the story. Like you actually know the
Yeah.
story. 'Cause I think a lot of people I don't know the stories. I just like the songs, but I
Yeah,
don't actually
well,
know the
that's what's
stories.
amazing about
Well,
doing
the
it
lyrics,
live.
the
And
lyrics tell the story. You listen to the lyrics. If
yeah,
the lyrics don't tell the story, then you don't know. How can you possibly know the story?
yeah,
The
Yes.
The Beach Boys in my day were basically for blonde, blue-eyed people.
right.
They, the Americana people, they love that shit. They would wear cutoffs and get
That's
beer and go down the beach and be beach. Not us, not us. We were like the cool guys.
Yeah.
Actually, though,
Well,
there's a
but
movie. There's a
time has
movie
changed
made
things.
about him. There's a movie. There's a movie about
Brian
uh,
Wilson.
Wilson. Yeah, Brian Wilson. It's a really good movie.
Yeah,
All about him. He had kind of a tragic life, even though he did such
yeah,
wonderful things. So here's what I want to do real quick. Hey Juan, I just want you to play like a minute of California Girls so people can hear it because I want everybody to stream and buy it,
yes.
have an idea. So introduce California Girls from Catch a Wave, and then Juan, play like a minute or 90 seconds of it, and then come back and then cut it off at a good point, whatever you think, so that way everybody can hear it. Introduce it for us real quick, and Juan.
All right. So, for me, my dad was a big part of my upbringing with California, and like he loved the Dodgers and baseball. So as a kid, my California upbringing, I think of Dodgers, I think of baseball, and I think of California Girls. So this is the song called California Girls.
Well, East Coast girls are hip. I really dig those styles they wear. And the Southern girls, with the way they talk, they knock me out when I'm down there. The Midwest farmers' daughters really make you feel alright. And the Northern girls, with the way they kiss, they keep their boyfriends warm at night. I wish they all could be California girls. I wish they all could be California girls. The West Coast has the sunshine and the girls will get so tan. I dig a fringe bikini on Hawaiian Island off by a palm tree in the sand. I've been all around this great big world and I've seen all kinds of girls.
love it. I love it.
Thank
I
you.
just see that. That would be such a fun song to perform on a stage.
Yes. Oh my God, the crowd goes wild. We just
I
did
bet.
it and live.
Michael, do you think the people of today want that kind of music? I mean, they're into rap and all that shit.
Yeah, I think the people of today, when exposed to music, like when I was exposed recently to the Beach Boys in depth, I think this music will find who it's meant for, and once it does find those people, like it will make them feel different. It will change. This music changed me, like and like that's weird to say as a gay Latin man from California, you know, like it completely like and I'm singing like songs from the perspective of Brian Wilson, who's a straight man, who's a straight white guy, you know. So like it's it's an interesting as an artist to be able to like use my vessel to express a character or this person, this spirit who lives within these lyrics and who lives within these melodies, because there really is a spirit. It's these somebody was artistic and felt something and received something, wrote it down and recorded it, and now like we're able to like almost like a map experience this whole experience that they experienced sonically, and you know
I
to
think
do it.
people, I
Yeah,
think people are gonna absolutely like love it. I think you're gonna introduce the Beach Boys to a whole generation of people who have no
I would
idea who they
love
are.
that. I would love that. I would love for them to find out everything about them, all the things that I'm learning about the group and their history and their contributions to lyrics and stuff. Like that would be a dream come true. So
So you
let's
guys,
make
the
that
name of the
happen.
album
And
is
also, Michael, we've had on our show some of the greatest groups. I mean, from Chicago to
we had Earth, Wind, and Fire, Cool in the
we've had them
Gang.
all
Love
on.
them.
And the question I asked all of them was, you're reviving your music. Do you think people want it? And their answer was, well, we fill stadiums with thousands of people. So I'm sure that if you performed in a stadium, you will fill it with thousands of people.
Let's do it. And you guys will be there singing along.
Absolutely.
You bet, because you're good. I see. It's my kind of. I'm 86 years old. I mean, I'm as old as fucking dirt. So I mean, I know music from the 40s. You know, from the Andrews Sisters. I've been
Right.
in music all my life, and I don't love the music of today. I don't like rap. I despise it. I think it's stupid. It's talking. It's not singing, and I think it's rude. So I'm not a today person. So I would be one to get your album and enjoy it. And there are
Get
many
it.
people like me. So yeah,
Ron's favorite singer is Johnny Mathis. So do a
Oh,
Johnny Mathis
she's
cover.
great. Listen,
Yeah. well,
I'll come serenade you.
Yes.
Anyone that had the balls to do a Johnny Mathis cover is insane because they could never accomplish it. Johnny did.
I love Johnny Mathis, but I actually, I love the Beach Boys, and I didn't like the Beach Boys that much when I was younger, even though I'm old. I love the Beach Boys, believe it or not, when like season like 1, I think, of American Idol did a cover of Good Vibe, or one of the songs. I don't know which song they did, but it was so good. I used to listen to it like all the time. They had a Beach
love
Boys
that.
night, and it was one of my like favorite. And that's what made me listen to the Beach Boys. So I didn't really listen to them until I was old.
Well, that's
Yeah,
cool
but
that
I
they
was there
introduced
when
it to
the
you.
Beach Boys-
Yes.
I was there when the Beach Boys were popular. They used to play it on the radio. I remember driving. In those days, we didn't have tapes or anything. We just had a radio in the car. And if the Beach Boys came on, I would change it because I couldn't stand it. You know,
Well,
it was-
now I'm gonna give you an opportunity to get reintroduced.
No,
So
no, no.
maybe
Oh,
you'll
no,
fall
it's
in
no,
love.
really
because
good.
back then it was sort of a loser music. It wasn't in. It wasn't a black group.
Well, listen. Now we're gonna make it a winter music. You know, let's
No,
make
I'm
it.
giving you the history back then
Yeah, I know.
of when we heard it.
Don't
there-
forget, he was in New York, not California.
Yeah,
California,
that's
they
well,
loved it.
the New Yorkers felt a certain way about certain
but
things.
millions of people liked it.
Yeah.
I would immediately switch over to
You resisted. You were.
I would get Earth, Wind, and Fire. You know,
Yeah.
so that was where
Well,
we were at. The East
that,
Coast
like,
was never
Different
a-
strokes for different folks.
Yes. I think it's fabulous. So hold on, because we're almost out of time. So you guys,
Well,
the
wait a
name
minute,
of
let me get back to my point. I think what you've done is you've revived it, and you're making it everybody's music now, not
Yeah.
just surfers.
I love that. That's exactly the goal, is to make it everybody's.
It is everybody. Music belongs to everybody.
Yeah, once it's out there, it's yeah, exactly. And I would love for that to be the case with all of these versions as well. It's that it
Right.
becomes no longer is mine, but my experience now forever will be, able to be listened to, and somebody else can really take in the stories and really be affected and moved, and or just jam, because some of these songs are just amazing bops, and you're never gonna not be able to dance to some of these songs.
Well, the arrangements are excellent.
Thank
They're
you so much.
beautiful arrangements, and your voice is so falsetto. You almost sounds like Frankie Valli.
I
Uh,
love it. Yeah, I love that
so
Frankie Valli's coming out in these songs.
I think
I
your
love your voice.
wait, let me speak. I think your
Thank you.
album will sell, and I believe it's going to be a good purchase. So everybody
Thank
out
you.
there, get this album and learn that music is different. It's not necessarily today's music, but it's beautiful music. And when music is beautiful, we have to own it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you
and
guys,
it
it's
became,
called Catch a Wave by Michael Longoria. The name of the album is Catch a Wave. You also want to get at some of his other stuff. I have to tell you that my favorite song that you've recorded, now I have not listened to the new album, so I can't, I was listening to all your older stuff, but your cover of Being Alive from Company is like my absolute favorite. It's one of the greatest Broadway songs that's ever been written. You did
yes.
such a good job. I listened to it I have like a list on my iPad of my favorite songs. It's got like
Oh,
400
wow.
songs on it, and your version of that is in there.
I'm honored. Oh, that's so
Really,
awesome.
really
Thank
good.
you.
So you guys get all his music, but let's get Catch a Wave, you guys. You can stream it on Spotify. You can buy it on all the digital download sites. I want to say congratulations for all your success. You guys, we didn't touch
Thank
on it because
you.
we don't have time, but I'm going to throw a couple quick things. He was also in West Side Story, also in, he played Baby John in Italy, right?
Yeah, at La Scala.
At La Scala. Then he was also in A Chorus Line, you guys, and he's actually one of the few men to play Peter Pan in Peter Pan and Wendy, because you guys, Peter Pan was always played by a woman.
Yeah.
And Peter Pan was a boy, so
Yeah. I was
it's
very
about time they
androgynous.
brought it back where it should be.
And you guys, and actually,
But
when
wait,
he did that, he
what
got
do
a Barrymore Award nomination for Best Actor in a musical for Peter Pan. So he's done a lot of great stuff. He's also been on a lot of TV shows and stuff. So please support
But
him.
wait,
You can
what do
follow him on Instagram. His
Oh.
Instagram is at Michael Longoria Sings. Go ahead.
What are
Yes.
you doing currently? What can we go see you in now? Today?
Today you got to download that album and go on a journey with me with this Catch a Wave. That's because literally that's all I'm doing. My focus right now has been the launch of this album. But after this, I'm going to be developing the live show. I just did the first live show at the Beachmen, which was amazing. It was amazing to see people react to it live and in the room, because I recorded this in the studio by myself with the engineer. And so I spent a lot of time alone. So to finally get to see it, how it affects people in person in the room, it was magical. So I'm looking for more opportunities to perform my Catch a Wave show, like this entire album and then some, because there's more Beach Boys songs to get into. And just really introduce people to this amazing music that has really uplifted me in a time when I really needed something to really make me feel better about life. And this music from the 1960s, from the Beach Boys specifically, really changed how my molecular structure has been. I literally feel so alive and so happy and so just pleased to be able to sing these timeless songs and to introduce them to a new generation. So thank you
I
for
love it.
helping me do that.
So thank you so much for coming on. We wish you all the best. Anytime
The
you have
best.
new stuff, you let us
Thank
know.
you. You
We'll bring
too.
back. It was great. Thank you so
Right.
much.
Thank you so
Bye-bye.
much. All right, bye guys.
Bye-bye.
You're good. You're good.
You guys, that was great. He's such a talent, and I'm not kidding you, because I really listened to his music before he came
No,
on.
that cover was lovely.
So he's really good. So now we're going to bring on our second guest. Let's bring him in. Hey, John, how you doing?
Jimmy, what's happening?
How are you?
Good. Great show. Love it. Hi, Ron.
Thank you. He said, hey, Ron.
What?
He said hello.
Hello, Ron.
I'm not talking to him. How do you like that? Has an interviewer ever said that to you? I'm not going to talk to you.
So hold on, wait,
Okay.
I want to do a real good, a nice intro to you. All right, everybody. Now we want to welcome to the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell, founder of the fabulous heavy metal band Scarecrow. They're fabulous. This is John Blaze. Hello, and welcome back to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Jimmy. Pleasure to be here.
Just Jimmy, you fuck. Just Jimmy.
Didn't I say hi before?
You
And then he
didn't
said,
say
You said hi,
"Talking to
Ron.
me."
This is Ron
No, but
Russell.
you didn't say thank you, Jimmy and Ron, for having me.
Thank you, Jimmy and Ron, for having me on the show today.
I want my mommy.
So
I
I
love
love
him
all that
already.
stuff you got behind you. That's a very nice
Oh,
set.
my dog is upset.
I
See how you've
know.
upset my dog, you prick.
So how are you? How's everything?
Everything is great. I see his tail is wagging, so no,
There he is.
I'm a dog lover. What is
Oh.
his or her name?
His name is Astro.
Astro.
Oh,
How have you been since we've seen
Yeah, we
you
haven't
last?
had you on our show. I don't know when that was, but it was a long time
Long
ago.
time ago.
Yeah,
You
it
were
was
young.
way too-
You were young then.
It might have been 10 or 10 years ago, at least 10 or 12 years
Yes.
ago.
God bless. Everything is knock wood. Everything's going great. Thank you.
Good. You making money?
No.
No. Oh shit.
He's going to make money. He's on our show. We're going to get people to buy his song.
Welcome to our world.
You gotta love it. So you guys, John Blaze, like I said, you can check out. They have a brand new website. It's scarecrowband.com. I want to tell you that we every Christmas and sometimes other times also, we actually play.
Yeah.
What's the name of the song that you guys have the great video for? I wrote it down. Now I can't even think of it.
Don't ask me. I'm
No,
brain
no.
dead. I'm brain
No,
dead.
Welcome to My Mind, I think. Is that a video? Is Welcome
Yeah,
to My Mind
yeah.
a video? Every Halloween we play it on the show for the last 10 years.
Seriously, that's way
Seriously.
cool.
We play it all the time. It's a great video. And that was the video that kind of changed Scarecrow, where you were wearing the mask and stuff, right?
Right.
Yeah, we shot that at a place called Times Scare in New York, where we had a
Square?
Yes.
I love
Times
it.
Scare.
I
Yeah,
love it.
it was
I
kind
love
of
it.
like a semi-residence that we had a little theater that we would perform. And what I did is I took a compilation of all the Scarecrow songs and weaved them into kind of a play and a sit-down audience with dialogue in between, and a girl that we pulled out of the audience and killed, and it was a whole production. And we did it at Times Scare, and they let us shoot the video there too as well.
Where
I
is
loved
this?
it.
Where is this Times Square?
No, it's closed. It's closed now. Basically, it was a theme restaurant for Halloween, which nobody else was doing, which was absolutely brilliant. So you would go, everything was Halloween oriented, but it was 365 days a year, so it was a really hip tourist attraction right off Broadway. But they
I
since
wouldn't go
closed it.
there, and I never know of it.
Times.
Jimmy and I would have been there, right?
Yeah, I would have gone in a
Definitely.
heartbeat.
Because Jimmy
Yeah, it
collects
was
all
real.
that stuff.
It was
Wow.
really cool. In
Yeah.
that video, there's stairs and you go up to different rooms. It was brilliant.
Where the hell was this?
Off of Broadway someplace.
Off of
Uh,
Broadway?
Ron, I'll get you the exact address because
Oh,
I know I have it.
Now it's closed.
Yeah, but it's like a something. I don't even remember what it is. I just walked by it about 2 years ago and saw
Oh.
that the marquee was down and everything. But it was right near Port Authority.
Oh, okay. So it's 9th Avenue and whatever.
So I have a question for you. So first of all, let me tell everybody. So you guys, Scarecrow, a heavy metal band from New York City. They were founded by John Blaze and former Twisted Sister guitarist Eddie Ojeda. Is that how you pronounce his last name?
Oh, Jada.
Ojeda. Okay, Eddie Ojeda. So you guys have been around a long time. How did Scarecrow come together in the first place back in the late 1989? I think it was.
Yeah, it's like in 89, 91, right in that area. So Twisted Sister is going through their changes of lineups and they kind of break up and go different ways. And the connection between myself And those guys were all Long Island based bands that kind of came out of this emergence of Long Island. There were bands Twisted Sister, Zebra, if you remember.
Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
Zebra.
Oh, yeah.
Great act, Randy, wonderful people, the Good Rats, Rat Race Choir. We had really a big scene that was going on. It was sort of like Seattle, but on Long Island in 80s kind of thing. So it was really hip. So we were Twisted Sisters opening act with a different band, with like a cover band. And then Twisted goes their separate ways. We become such good friends with JJ, with D himself, and with Eddie. Then me and Eddie said, let's put something together. I kind of had it already started. Thought of Eddie immediately because he's not only one of the best guitar players I ever worked with, he's probably the funniest human on the face of the planet. He just would make me laugh and so talented. So that's really was the birth of Scarecrow back then. So it was cool.
I miss those days.
Oh God, they were wonderful.
They were wonderful. The audiences were the best.
The best.
You don't
We
have
would
those
do-
audiences today.
No, we would do a nightclub that's capacity was 500 people, and we would do between 800 and 900, and it was insane. You know, it was
fab-
lines out the doors, and it was just a very innocent, wonderful time.
I wrote.
It was a happening.
Yes, yes.
Today, Jimmy drags me to concerts today, and I want to kill myself. Really. I get toilet paper and I stick it in my ears because the bass makes me nuts. And I tell Jimmy all the time, you know, I'm old. I'm 86 years old, so I know about what went
God
on
bless.
in music in those days. It doesn't happen today. The concerts today, the people, I don't know what the fuck they are about. When we went to your concert, we became part of your show.
Yeah.
Today, the audience is separate. They don't do that. They're not a part of the show. Their spirit's not there.
I totally agree.
We were all stoned out of our bird. We didn't know where the fuck we were. but it was fabulous.
Cool.
So
Ron,
I
was Ron
ahead.
in the bit? Were you in the business back in those days, Ron? 'Cause
Me?
Yeah.
I've been in the business since I'm 19.
Wow.
He wasn't really in music though. He's an actor.
No, I'm an actor. I made a movie.
Okay.
My first movie was with Sophia Loren and Tab Hunter. So that started my career.
Cool.
But my career's been on the stage. It's been all over the place.
Cool.
I've done everything there is to do in the business. But music, I was a great lover. We all were. I think it's because we wanted to be happy. We worked at being happy back then. And music was important. I mean, wow, did you hear that new piece that they have out there? Wow, did you like it? We
Yeah.
discussed it. Today, I go to cocktail parties, I go to all kinds of shit, and nobody discusses music. Music is never mentioned, never. It's
Yeah.
almost like it disappeared.
Yeah. Different time, well, different generation, you know, different
Yes.
music that's out there. There's different ways of listening to it. Yeah, it's totally different. It's very isolated, you know. You see
Very
kids.
isolated.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna see.
It's not a part of our culture.
No, definitely not.
I want to see if he knows this. So they did their debut show at a club in Long Island that was supposed to be a big deal club, and it was called Sundance. Did you ever hear of that?
Sure. I'm from Long Island. I know everything about it.
Are you really? Okay.
I used to play the Treehouse. There was a club called the Treehouse in Hop Hog, and I did shows there. So I worked Long Island.
Cool. Frank Cariola was one of the
Way
nice.
back in the early 60s. Early
Sure.
60s.
Our generation was clubs like Sundance, Speaks, the Tortorices owned a club called Speaks, OBI's.
Yeah,
So
I know.
So who are
Sure,
like your
everybody
influence?
knows.
Like you're making a metal band and you're in Long
Yeah.
Island, and who were like some of the influence or bands that you like listened to in the 80s that made a big impact on you?
Well, I love Twisted. You know, I
Yes.
just always love what they do. These are not only a great person, but one of the best frontmen that I know of. But my roots go back to, I really think at the top of the list is probably a tie between Alice Cooper and Kiss. So,
Oh, Alice
Alice
Cooper,
Cooper and Kiss.
and
and
Kiss.
Kiss.
I agree.
I
You
saw
know,
Kiss in concert when I was in 9th grade, and it was like the greatest experience of my life.
Yeah. Well, you know, they don't have anything like that today.
And I have-
nothing like that anymore.
Nothing like that.
I have-
nothing.
I have the Kiss singing action figures that are like 2 feet tall. I have
Do
the
you?
whole group. Yeah, I have the whole group.
I have an item that's worth a significant amount of money that I'll never really part with, but it's from their I think the year was 75 New Year's Eve show at the Nassau Coliseum that I was in the front row, and I have the poster from it, and we got dragged backstage and Paul Stanley signed my ticket because we caught the guitar when he would smash the guitar. So we caught it and we were getting mauled. So the guys would let us off. That's just was an experience I'll never forget.
Did you ever play the chorale?
Don't know the corral. Don't know.
It was up in Topanga Canyon.
No, I'll tell you what, our biggest room
I
was
think it was before your time, the chorale.
maybe before
It was
our
a hot
time.
club. Oh boy, the
Oh, yeah.
bands, everybody played there before they became famous.
Do you know if they changed it to a different name? It might have been the Glen Island.
No, it was called the
Casino.
chorale and it burnt down. You know
Okay.
who burnt it down?
Oh.
The sheriff or somebody, they said, because
Wow.
they didn't want hippies up there.
Wow.
So they burnt the chorale down.
As Scarecrow, though, you guys played more than New York. You played pretty extensively, right?
Yeah, so all of the stuff we're kind of talking about goes back to the Mad Hatter of Stony Brook and Speaks, but then after Twisted goes this way and we go that way, then Scarecrow with Eddie. Yeah, we toured pretty much we stayed on the East Coast. You know, we tried to get to LA and do that part of it, but we didn't do that part of it. Then we did our releases over in the first debut album and the second album in Japan, but we never got to visit. But we heard they were playing our record, which was awesome. And I did get to go over to the UK and perform in the UK. So, but then we went through a bunch of lineup changes. Twisted gets back together, new guitar player comes in. We're like, it's like the Spinal Tap of drummers is the band members of Scarecrow, you know?
So I think that
Big revolving door.
just little bits of it. We went to an event at the end of last year and met Evan Stanley, actually.
Well, who?
Evan Stanley, Paul
Uh-huh.
Stanley, Kiss's son. And
Yep.
Jesse Blaze Snyder's been on the show twice.
Oh, cool.
Our show twice. He's very cool. So I think we're running around. And so also then you guys, Scarecrow's released a bunch of different albums. They have a song, and I was like listening. I don't know. For the last month, I've been listening to like Scarecrow stuff that I can find. And you actually
Cool.
have a ballad called "Runaway Renee." Everybody should listen to it. It's different than your, super heavy duty stuff. But like I listened to it, and I was like, this could be a fucking hit today.
Thank you.
It's a very, very good song.
Thank you. That was
So you never came to
Hang on, let me answer that.
Oh, what?
He's making a comment about the
Okay.
song. Go ahead.
That's okay. That was one of my favorites also. It's about a real girl during spring break that I met. That song's very close to home, has a great hook. And it was when that first day, it was on the debut album when it first came out. Local radio was playing it, and we watched it going up the heavy metal charts, and we thought we were going to kind of sneak in there with, bands like the Bullet Boys or something like that, no delusions of grandeur of being the world's best band, but we thought we had a great song, and then it just kind of fell off like everything else and goes back
It could have
into
been it could have been an anomaly though, like
Yeah, but back-
Words by
listen.
Extreme or Beth
Yeah.
by Kiss or something like that though.
Yeah.
When we lived on Long Island, we had a neighbor who was a promo guy. He promoted all the groups.
Okay.
And he used to say if they didn't have big money behind them, they went nowhere. They needed big money behind them. I don't give a shit how good you are. You could have been the best group in the world.
Big pay for play
But
back
if
then.
you didn't have the backing, forget about it. So probably what happened to your song was you didn't get backed.
Yeah, we did. We did.
Did you get
There was no support behind it
Okay,
either.
so that's why it flipped out.
No doubt. There were other bands that broke from the island, like even White Lion around that time.
Yeah, big.
But they were working with the guys. I think they had people behind them that were able to help them, and
Money, big money.
yeah, big. There wasn't any of that, unfortunately, behind us. Ron, you bring up, and Jimmy, another important thing that Dio always told me, because we've often discussed the difference between Twisted Sister and Scarecrow and our bands. And another important word is timing, meaning what is the industry looking for at that time? And so I think the music business at that time was going through a lot of changes. And we remember auditioning for a record label that walked out because I didn't have blonde hair.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean,
Motley Crue, they all have blonde hair.
yeah,
Don't forget, we were coming from Peggy Lee and Doris Day.
yeah.
You know what I mean? That was the music we were listening to, all that shit. And then suddenly these screwballs came looking like they crawled out from under a rock, like you, with long hair, mustaches, and weird. And suddenly we all wanted to be you. We didn't want to be Doris Day.
Right.
We didn't. So we became what they called hippies. I loved it. Hippies. Did you love it? I was the only hippie that wore Gucci.
All right, so here, I want to make.
I love those fucking days. I'm sorry. We had oh my God, did we have fun? Dude, that's all we had was fun. We had music, we had dancing, we had crazy, we had fun.
I agree.
Fun.
So I want to
There's no more fun.
Hang on, okay, go stop. I want to I have a question I want to talk about, but I don't want to run out of time. I want to make sure we go over your new song first. So let's do that first. So you have a brand new song.
Yep.
The name of the song is Twisted. It's inspired by the long history and personal relationship that you've had with Dee Snider and all the guys in Twisted Sister. It features Dee Snider, Mark Wood from Trans-Siberian Orchestra, Bobby Marks from Humble Pie on drums, TJ Jordan. The song, from what I got, just made the Metal Contraband Top 50 Metal chart and the NACC Top 30 Heavy chart. So tell us a little bit about Twisted, and then we're going to play it for everybody.
Way cool. Yeah, we're really happy about where it's doing, even at radio right now. It went in at like number 14 on the metal charts and stuff, which is very cool. And you hit it right on the head. It's lyrics that have been floating around for 20 years that I tried to rekindle. It really started when Twisted announced their 50-year anniversary. So I pulled these lyrics out, and then I tried to really come up with a very more contemporary, modern track and use a lot of different kind of effects. And we recorded it, and we really liked the way it came out. And instead of doing a whole album, we just wanted to release the single and say, hey, does the world remember Scarecrow? So that was really the intention behind it.
Let's hear it. I'm excited.
So Juan,
I'm excited.
I'm going to have John introduce it, Juan, but we're going to play the one that says Scarecrow Twisted. You actually introduce it, and then we'll play it. Hang on, and we'll talk about it as soon as we get back. So go ahead and introduce it to everybody.
You got it. Hey, this is John Blaze from Scarecrow. This is our new track, Twisted.
Yay.
lost in mind, the labyrinth of thought. They haven't even
Hey, everybody, that's Twisted by Scarecrow. I fucking love it. I think it's
You
fabulous.
sure did bring it up to date. There's a lot of stuff in there that you never would have used. years
There's a
ago.
lot of stuff in
A
there.
lot of stuff I heard.
Violin. Nobody would use violins
Yeah,
back in the
but
day.
you know what? It made it very interesting and enjoyable. I loved it.
Thank you. The first half of the guitar solo, the guitar solo section was all played by TJ Jordan, who's out with a guy named Michael Del Judas right now. He's a brilliant guitar player and a friend. And then when I played it for Mark Wood from Trans-Siberian, he's like, hey, man, can I do the second half of the guitar solo? So the first half of that solo is a guitar, and then the second half is violin. And that's his electric violin. The guy is so talented. It's insane.
Trans-Siberian Orchestra, they're a big deal.
Yeah, he's not with them anymore, but Mark is still out there doing amazing, amazing things. And again, one of the nicest people on the planet.
Also, though, even though in reading the bios of Scarecrow and all the different people, I mean, every musician that's ever been in it, whether they're in it now or not, they were all phenomenal musicians. Like
Yeah, but
everybody.
you see, when music is good, I mean, all he did was tweak it a little and made it great. So, you know, if the music is there, it's there. If the music's not there, I don't give a shit what instruments, what tricks you put in it. If it
Yeah.
sucks, it sucks.
Yeah.
You know, so the music is good to begin with, and it's easy to add what you. I love what you did. It's great.
Cool. Thank you, Ron. Very
Also, you guys, you can download Twisted by Scarecrow. It's on all the digital download sites. It's also on Spotify. And if you want to find out more information, you can go to scarecrowband.com. They have a new website. And I think you don't have really social media going yet, right? Or do you?
There's a couple of things. We've been trying to connect all the dots. So if you go on the website, you can find us via social media, but it's connecting in a different place. You know, Scarecrow is one of those names or monikers that so many people have, you know, and it's a little frustrating because I've owned the trademark for, you know, since the 80s. And people out there are still calling their band Scarecrow or Scarecrow this and Scarecrow that. And there's not much you could do. You send a letter that says, please, you know, politely saying, please stop using it. And they tell you to, you know,
Oh, fuck yourself.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So, you know, the cream will rise to the top always, whoever supports it. And, you know,
I have a
does-
question. Do you like horror movies in
I
general?
love horror movies.
Okay,
yeah.
I love horror movies. That's like my thing. And because I was like, I had
Love
this idea, like, I think you should make a horror movie with your character being like some kind of like real fucking like the next big slasher killer person.
No,
No, I'm telling you, like,
no, he doesn't want to ruin.
No,
it.
hold on. The Jimmy is 100 because the stage production that I did is exactly that. I
I
mean,
know, but we could put that movie together and make that movie.
okay,
And
Jimmy,
have
you're
somebody playing you, and then Scarecrow could actually. I mean, I even like thought, fuck, you know, if I owned the rights to this, I'd write a fucking book about it, and I'd turn the book into a screenplay, and I would make it fucking badass. But the band, would be a part of it, so all your music could be through it all. It would be like a promotional thing, but you could be the next iconic, slasher of the 21st century after my Bunny Man character. That's coming out first. But
Jimmy, I'm going to send you the treatment or the story, because even the makeup, I'm not just slapping on something without a story behind it. His eyes are crossed and his mouth was shut because he witnessed a murder. It has a whole storyline to it.
We could turn it into a comic book, and then we could turn it into a movie. I'm telling you, like, I'm all about that shit. That's the shit I do a lot of, and I love it. So I want to do it.
Ron, you're a witness, Ron. Me and Jimmy are going to make this into a movie.
I know. I'm totally down for it. I mean, we just got to find some money, but I know I've got all the people to do it. And I know you do videography stuff too, don't you?
Yeah. All that website stuff and all those teasers, me and my partner, his name is Don Chaff, and he's from a band called Voices of Extreme. He's a super talented guy, so we do all that. And we've been dabbling in AI and stuff. So
I
the video.
I have a TV series that we're working on right now in AI, and I've done a bunch of AI music videos I have a movie called The Legend of Bunny Man that I'm working on, and I've done 3 music videos, and I make little graphics and promos, and I've gotten like 16 million, views on them.
Wow. Jimmy, we got a lot to talk about. You're not only one of the nicest people that I've met in a long time, but we also connect on a very professional level. So it's been really cool.
Look, come on.
Jimmy bores me to death, but I know he knows his shit.
This is The Legend of Bunny Man. Here's one. I have 3 action figures made. I have candles, stickers. I already have all the. I have my own. The Legend of Bunny Man. I have my own coffee coming at the end of the week.
Do you really?
Carrot cake coffee blend. I've got candles made. I've already got all the merchandise for the movie, and we're going to go into production at the end of May.
20 years ago, when he met me, he was so attentive, so romantic, so much like I was somebody big.
This is the top.
Now it's fucking Bunny Man.
This is the top of my candle. See, it's an axe with blood all over it.
Ugh.
It's a Legend of Bunny Man candle, and it's jelly bean flavored.
Wow.
Is he not?
I have my shit together.
So now I have become second fiddle to Bunny Man.
And the Legend of Bunny Man stickers. I have it all going. But anyway, so here's the question I had wanted to ask you if we had time.
Yep.
So the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame just came out with their new inductees for 2026.
Yep.
And
meanwhile, the Hall of Fame, they're questioning it because.
But hang on, let me finish. This is my question.
Go ahead.
So I want to know what you think about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, because here's who they're inducting this year. Oasis, that's fine. Phil Collins is okay. Iron Maiden is great. Sade, she doesn't belong to me. I don't believe.
Phil Collins doesn't belong.
Billy Idol's good. Wu-Tang Clan, Joy Division, New Order, and Luther Vandross. What do you think of all the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame putting in everybody who's not rock and roll?
No,
is my question.
Wrong.
No, that's my question.
Well, I'm answering it.
I know, but I want him to answer it because
I
he's the
know,
rock
but
star.
I'm giving my 2 cents.
He's the rock star. Go ahead, tell me.
It's wrong.
So everybody that you said yes to, like Iron Maidens and things like that, I agree with you. So I have I love amazing voices, from Tom Jones, which is like one of the greatest singers.
Tom Jones.
I
love Tom Jones.
Brilliant, Frankie Valli, I heard your interview before this.
Yeah.
I mean, brilliant voices. I just love a great voice. Luther Vandross, I had the opportunity to work with, like behind the scenes, because I'm from the music business. Also, I worked for a record producer at Sony for many years, and I helped the tour manager for Luther Vandross, and he was one of the most amazing singers I have ever heard. I went to his sound checks, and he would sing at his sound checks like he was singing to 10,000 people, and his voice was gold. So I agree with that. And I'm sorry to say, I love Sade's music.
I'm not saying that I don't love them.
Love her
Wait a
music.
No,
second,
but
hang
they
on,
don't
wait.
belong in that category.
I
What do you
think
they
mean
should
in the
be in the
category?
hall.
Do they have separate categories?
No, that's the whole point.
They should be in the Hall of Music.
There should be like a
not
music
rock and
hall of
roll.
fame, not the
Oh.
rock and roll
Because
hall
rock
of
and
fame.
roll, you belong in the rock and roll.
Oh,
not
I
them.
see what you're saying.
So yeah, I
You
think
see,
they're
it's
great
bullshit.
artists.
It's like putting Johnny Mantis in the rock and you can't do that.
Oh, okay. I follow what. So why isn't she or he in a different
I guess they
section?
don't have. I don't know. Maybe they don't have it. I'm not sure what the reason is. We saw it on TV last night, and they were all saying, there should be a music hall of fame or some other name to induct all the hip hop people and all the singers and all the ballad people and Mariah Carey and people like that can go in one. But if it's the Rock and Roll Hall of
Because-
Fame, but if it should be rock stars, not
Oh, I
like
see
all
what
these
you're
other
saying.
people.
I can
Okay.
remember many years ago, all these ballad singers were putting down rock and roll. They used to say, "Oh, rock and roll, that crap. We sing ballads. We sing blah blah." So they were the snobs of the music world. They were the Rolls Royce of the music world. And
Okay.
this guy was like the garbage. Nothing. So bullshit. They don't belong in rock and roll.
No, I
They're
don't
not
think
rock and roll.
Luther or Sade belongs in the category of rock and roll, but they're certainly immense talents.
No, yeah, I'm not
Yeah,
saying they're not
they're
talented. I love
wonderful.
Luther
They're
Vandross.
wonderful.
I love
Listen,
him.
Nobody's better than Johnny Mantis, as far as I'm concerned. You
I
got
love
the
Johnny.
the voice of heaven.
Yeah.
Okay, Johnny Mantis belongs in the Hall of Music, not in the rock and roll, and they would never put him in rock and
REO
roll.
Speedwagon has not made it. There's all these huge people that are like sold, billions of
So
records.
what?
that
They
are really
ran
good, and
out.
none of them are in the Rock and Roll Hall
They
of
ran
Fame.
out of names. They couldn't find anybody in rock and roll.
No, they.
They ran out of names.
That's very interesting. I don't think I'm familiar enough with the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I've never even been there yet to
I haven't
understand how they cut it off or their dividing points.
John, we got to be a moron not to understand rock and roll.
Yes.
It says it right there. Rock and fucking roll.
He wasn't calling you a moron, by the
No,
way.
no, I love
That's
you.
it. I'm out of here.
I love you, John. I think you're a great guy.
No,
No,
this is
rock and roll means fucking rock and roll.
I
doesn't
totally
mean
agree. And if we
power.
use it in that context, all the other bands that you listed, including like a Billy Idol or something like that, yes, fall into that category. But no, not a Sade or Luther Vandross.
Wu Tang Clan doesn't fit.
No,
you
we're
know.
not in rock and roll. No.
I just think it should be rock and roll because there's so many rock and roll bands that are not
I mean,
being.
that you could put in.
Yeah,
Did
there's-
they
Jesus,
did they
man.
did they induct like Judas Priest? Wasn't that last year or something? That's rock and roll.
yeah, that's rock and roll.
Okay. Because I remember they
I mean,
were
even
not.
Dolly Parton was inducted to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in
She's the
2023,
furthest thing
and
from.
she should be in a Hall of Fame, but not a Rock and Roll Hall of
Dolly
Fame.
Parton is a pair of tits that sing.
I think that I'm looking to see in rock.
It sounds like the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is just encompassing the entire, or trying to embrace the entire music industry.
Then they need to change the
Listen,
name, though.
Today, if you're an individual, you're a racist. They're nuts today.
Yes.
They got rid of everything that was sacred in our day and made it commercial today.
Okay, here's an analogy that I'm thinking of, Jimmy and Ron. Let's follow this train of thought for a second, because now you've got me thinking about it. So if you think of like the Hard Rock Cafe, right?
Mhm.
And we were just in Florida, and we went to the Guitar Hotel, right? And it's
Right.
called the Hard Rock, right? So now you're saying Hard Rock, but I'm walking by, clothes worn by the Drifters and Johnny Cash and things like that. So I think, I could be wrong, what's happening is that the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is going down that same sort of marketing and using this name of rock and roll the same way that the Hard Rock Cafe is presenting itself, because the Drifters or Lady Gaga are certainly not hard rock, right? But they're in the Hard Rock Cafe. So possibly that's what's happening. I'm not
Yeah,
a marketing.
I
The
think
Hard
that's
Rock
true.
Cafe was around when my kids were 16 years old. I used to take them there, and it's
Right.
still there 100 years later.
Yeah.
But that's not what's going on. What's going on now is there's no such thing anymore as individuality.
Okay.
Everybody, it's communism. Everybody has to be the same. You can't have anybody that's this or that or the other.
Hey, we only have a minute, so you got to hurry.
Anyway, we
Okay.
could go on forever with this. Let's
We
go
can.
into what happened.
I just think it's.
I think
just think
you
it's
should
wrong.
be. I think you should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of
Judas,
God,
Judas,
like-
Judas Priest is in the Rock and Roll Hall
They
of Fame.
are. Thank
2022.
God.
And they should be. But that's what I
Absolutely.
think. And I just think they should start a new one. We saw a thing on TV last night, and they were basically saying, because you have to have been around for, I forgot what they said, 25 or 50 years before you can get into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Maybe it's 25 years or something. So maybe there aren't enough rock bands that they're, that they haven't missed. But they didn't do REO Speedwagon. I don't think Styx. I mean, there's a lot of bands that.
No, there's a lot of
Cool.
bands. I don't know enough about their parameters or their cut sheet or their line items that need to get checked off.
But I believe I agree with him. You guys should be in there.
No,
so
but
Thank you.
everybody today is talking about this. It's a big subject because a lot of people feel no, those people should not be in Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
I agree. Anyway, you guys, so this is John Blaze. The name of his band is Scarecrow. His new album is Twisted. Did you get any text messages from me yesterday or the day before? I don't know if I have the right phone number because I texted you all kinds of stuff and I never got a response. So email me your phone number and then we can hook up to talk about some of this stuff.
Sounds great. Look forward
right.
to it.
Thank you
Cool.
so much, Scarecrow. You rock.
Thank you, guys. Great show. Thank you.
Thank
Bye bye.
you.
All right, everybody.
Great
We'll see you
show.
next week. Enjoy your weekend, everybody. See you soon. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Jimmy,
This is MC Alfred.
and Ozzy.
I'm just chilling, Jimmy Star, yo, sitting down and designing. Where every man in thinking, what are we gonna be wearing? Yo, I'm a Liverpool MC, you can't test me. Big up the girls inside the party. Let's get down to crazy Jimmy. Big up myself and known as Alfie, the one and only, the Turkish MC.
Always love the clothes of Jimmy.
Bitch, I'm your one I wanna be. Jimmy Star, new celebrity.
We'll take you